In December 1864, a decisive battle was set to unfold in the rolling hills of Tennessee, the Battle of Nashville. As Union and Confederate forces prepared for combat, an unexpected warrior emerged from legend. Towering above the men, wrapped in custom-made, gigantic armor was King Kong, the colossal ape who had become a force of nature. For this battle, Kong had been outfitted with iron plates and an imposing helmet, turning him into an unstoppable juggernaut. Accompanied by Union soldiers, Kong's presence was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. General George H. Thomas, commanding the Union forces, devised a strategy that utilized Kong's immense strength and size. The plan was to use Kong as a battering ram to break through Confederate lines and inspire the troops to fight harder. On December 15th, as the sun rose, the battle commenced. Union forces advanced across a frozen landscape, their breath visible in the frigid air. King Kong, leading the charge, thundered across the field, each step causing the ground to quiver. Confederate General John Bell Hood, surprised by the sight of the armored giant, had little time to react. Initially, Confederate artillery focused fire on Kong, but the iron armor deflected most of the shells. Those that hit seemed to do little more than enrage him further. Union artillery provided covering fire as their infantry followed in Kong's wake. With a roar that echoed like thunder, Kong crashed into the Confederate defenses. His massive arms swung with devastating force, smashing through fortifications and scattering soldiers like leaves in a storm. The sight of the giant ape tearing through their lines demoralized the Confederate troops, many of whom began to retreat in panic. As the Union soldiers took advantage of the chaos, they pushed forward relentlessly. By nightfall on the first day, they had captured several key positions, significantly weakening the Confederate line. The following day, December 16th, saw renewed efforts from Union forces. King Kong, although battered and bruised, remained a formidable force. He led another charge, this time focusing on the remaining strongholds of the Confederate Army. The resilient but outnumbered Confederate forces put up a valiant fight, but they were gradually overpowered. King Kong's role was pivotal. His presence on the battlefield brought an almost mythical element to the Union's efforts. By the end of the second day, the Confederate Army was in full retreat. Union forces had managed to shatter Hood's Army of Tennessee, effectively ending the Confederate threat in the Western theater of the Civil War. The Battle of Nashville was remembered as one of the Union's most significant victories, thanks in part to the extraordinary intervention of King Kong. Soldiers would tell stories of the giant armored ape for years to come, a legend woven into the fabric of American history.